Hey, what's up, subscriber travelers? I'm Ronnie Danger. Today we're trying to finish my hearse. Well, not finish it, but make it run. We're having a few issues. Let's go over. We got no oil pressure. We got no start. Probably a good thing it didn't start with no oil pressure. It's got spark. At least it had spark, and it's got fuel. And it wouldn't even make a sound. So we're going to figure that out. Could be many different things. But first, we're going to figure out the oil pressure thing. We're actually going to try to put prime into this motor. There's a couple different ways we can do this. I've seen at least online. I've never had this issue before. This motor is it ran perfectly fine out of my race car. It's been a year or less since this motor's ran. And all of a sudden, it's giving me all kinds of issues. So there's a spot on the side of the block we can put oil in. Or we're actually going to jack the back of the car up. Oil to run to the front of the oil pan to try to push the oil up the tube a little easier. Yeah, I'm just jacking it up on the rear end. I think the craziest part about this is one of the only cars I've ever jacked up where you can tell it's got some weight. Oh man, it's a two-hander. We just want it up high enough to get that motor oil to run to the front of the pan. It also has a little extra oil in it. So there's also an issue underneath. I haven't even mentioned yet. It's leaking oil. Brand new pan, brand new filter. It's leaking around the filter. Could it be the wrong filter? Could that be our issue? We're going to start with the simplest. Jacking the back of the car up, turn the motor over, see if we build prime. And go from there. Because there ain't no point in doing anything else until it's got oil pressure. In case you're wondering why this car weighs that much, you ever been around a hearse or anything? It's a little dark to see. This is like a roller table. It's really freaking heavy. It's where the casket rolls in. Yeah, that's my flamethrower. Alright, we are way off the ground. Like a foot. The motor is not staying that far forward. It's crazy. The length is just taking all angle out of this situation. We're going to still try to turn it over. Like I said, we're doing the simplest thing first. If this works and it builds prime, we'll go on and try to start it. If it doesn't work, we'll prime the pump and see if that works. If that doesn't work, we're going to pull pan. Hopefully we're not pulling pan. Please don't let me pull a pan. Alright, let's see if this starts. Or see if it builds prime. Alright, let's see if we can build the oil pressures. Still gotta mount everything in here. I'm not done. We were just trying to make it. Yeah, that's the end one. And no oil pressure. The pump is crank driven, so you have to turn the motor over to build oil pressure. That didn't do anything, so next, let's prime the oil pump. Or should I try it one more time? I'll try it one more time. Fuck it. I'll try it one more time. Yep. Let's just try priming the oil pump. Alright, the way to prime an oil pump is there's a fitting right here that I is probably going to need some love to get into. Because if this has ever been open on this motor, I'd be really surprised. It's just so dang rusty that it's like a smidge bit bigger than an 8 and a smidge bit bigger or smaller than a 9. I about hammered the 9 into it, so I guess keep on trying that. That's all I got. Can't see nothing. I'm going in there. Come on. Oh, there it goes. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I can't believe that just worked. Look at that. For real, I didn't think that was coming off. Holy crap. Come on. Alright. That was a bugger. Alright, now what we're going to want to do, look at funnel with that on the end of it. We're going to screw this into the hole that we just pulled the plug out of. Put some oil in there. I cleaned the crap out of this thing. And then we're going to let it sit for 3 minutes. Should just about thread in. Hopefully you can see my hair and my head are right in your way. It's hard to show you this, but you get the point. Shove that in the hole, put some oil in it. Yep. There we go. I couldn't actually get it in as far as it said on the video I watched. It said to get it in 1.5 inches. I don't know what magic hose he was using. I was looking, this is a metric hose. I thought it was a piece of 3/8 fuel line. It's like a high pressure line, so it's probably a little thicker. That's all the, I mean, I only got it in probably that much. It's threaded in, I twisted it in. Ended up taking the end of it and turning it down on the bench grinder over there. But we're gonna dump some oil in it. What do we got? We get this valve lane here, but this is like a full thing of oil. I don't even know if this oil is good. Found it in this car. Oh yeah, it's definitely good oil. Save that for an oil change. I got this Castrol. I've never been a big user of Castrol, but it's the right weight. Sure. Now it said to just wait. I think I might have put way too much in there. Now this is filling the oil pump. Right now. It's going down slowly. It said to wait 3 minutes. I was watching a video on like a melons, how you say that, in the oil pump channel. And this is what it said to do. If we do not have oil pressure now, pan's coming off next. There, I must have got an O-ring pinched or something goofy. I hope that's not it. But we got to build oil pressure before we try to start this thing. Hopefully we get oil pressure. Hopefully we get it started today. Otherwise, over here in this mess. That's a 5.3. That's going to go in it. All we got to do is pull the intake manifold off. Change the flex plate. Pull these manifolds off. And yeah. I just throw on, I think I got an Autobrock right here. Actually, probably throw on this 650. Yeah, we'll probably throw that on there. see what happens. So there is a backup plan. I don't like it, but I would like to cruise this thing this freaking year. Yeah, at least once. Alright, the oil is all drained out of there. It's gone in the motor somewhere. Hopefully in the oil pump. Taped up my plug, throw it back in. Now let's see if we got some oil pressure. Fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed, because next step's pull the pan. Fingers crossed. Gosh darn it. Come on, oil pressure. Not even oil in the line. Yep, something's not great. Now you may be thinking the gauge is bad. Let's test that. Alright, how we're going to test the oil pressure? Very simple, pull this off. Be careful, there's a little piece up inside there. You don't want to lose that. See, there isn't even any oil that came out when I did that. We're going to turn it over. And if we get oil shooting out of that, then we got oil pressure. And if we don't, there goes the pan. I know there's a lot going on over here. We haven't cleaned it up yet. Little brass guy right there. Did oil shoot out of there? That was oil, wasn't it? Hang on, I gotta watch this back. So I pulled the line off in here. You always want to be careful. You see this little piece right there? It's called a ferrule. And sometimes you can tighten them down too hard and they'll crush the tube. And that looks fine. I'm still not getting oil pressure right here though. I have like 3 oil pressure gauges. Let's throw another one on there and see what happens. Obviously there's oil going to the top of the motor. Otherwise it would have been just coming out of the freaking tube. I honestly feel comfortable starting it with seeing that oil come out. Hopefully it isn't just the stuff I primed. It's actually pulling out of the pan. If we could start it for like a second and watch the oil pressure, and if it goes up, then we're good. If it doesn't go up, we'll shut it off immediately and pull the pan. If we can figure out how to get it to start. Looking for an oil pressure gauge. That's randomly strewn about the shop. I might actually put them all away. Crazy. Somewhere in this mess, there is a bunch more oil pressure gauges. Right there. I don't know if you could shoot air in these and get it to work, but let's try it. Well, that one works. Let me try the one in the car. So I tried the one in the car, and it took a lot more pressure to blow that one than the one I just showed you. I hooked that one up, turned it over, still no oil pressure, but we're getting oil to right there. I don't know. Maybe it's primed and it just needs to run to really get the oil pressure going. Let me call my engine builder and ask him what he thinks before we make our next step. It's hard to see that? That's oil going up the line. We have oil pressure now. There's probably air in the line. That's why we're not seeing anything in there. So what we're gonna do is start this thing. My motor builder said send it. We're gonna send it. I'm excited. I want to hear this thing make some freaking noise. No idea if it's gonna start since it's been giving us all kinds of issues. Here's where we're gonna start diagnosing that. I don't know if a lot of people, or if you don't know anything about the carb on an LS motor, it's supposed to be fuel injection from the factory. All it is this MSD box. The wires come out, see that mess? We got a plug here, which goes to this coil bank. A plug on this side that goes to that coil bank. Crank. Yeah, not crank. That's the cam sensor. Crank's down below. That's the map sensor. Tells the computer throttle position and all that stuff, like seeing vacuum. Off the vacuum, less vacuum, more throttle, more vacuum, less throttle kind of deal. That one just tells the thing when to fire. Same thing with down below, which I'm not going to show you that one. It's underneath behind the starter. Now, I think our issue might be this ground right here. So we're actually going to pull it off and put it on the back of this head and see if that works. It's going to be a little hard to film, so basically all I'm going to do is find a bolt it in the back of the head. Simple as that.
Hold on, I gotta get this.
My cat is in the door. There it goes.
Game of where's Bart. Brian, you gotta open the door.
He's out. He's right here. So the boy, are you getting some mice?
This is a two-hand opener.
Are you getting a mice?
Hi.
Sound like a black cat in a hearse. Alright, ground is moved to the head from up there. The block is grounded good. Show you. We're going from the head to the frame, from the frame to this fender, from the fender to the battery. It's all connected. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. Fingers crossed. Wait, good luck with the oil pressure. Let's have some good luck with it running. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Flip that switch on.
Some door handles would be cool.
They're sitting right there.
Flip the switch?
Yep. We got fuel pressure. Why aren't we spraying out the carb? It's like just dripping. What is going on? There it goes. Alright. Turn the key. Shut the fuel pump off. Let me check something. Alright, 12 volts at the battery. 12 volts here. Going to that. Turn it over. Nothing. What is going on with this thing? Alright, let's see if we got spark. Turn it over. Oh yeah. Can you see it? Really good spark. Alright, stop. Stop, stop! Ow! Ah! Just got lit up.
You electrocuted?
Yeah. That's why I said stop.
What?
That's why I was yelling stop.
I couldn't hear you.
Damn.
You need to get like a button or something.
I don't know. Got fuel. Something's kind of going on with this carburetor though. I guess let's check compression. I don't know why that carburetor's not squirting right now though. Okay. Find my compression tester and we'll go from there, I guess. Okay, we got fuel, we got spark, we got no start. So next test is compression. I got my first cylinder set up. Spark plugs out. It looks alright. It's a little dark, but that's fine for what it was doing, was figure 8 racing. Being a little tiny bit rich is not a bad thing when you're trying to be safe. You don't want to burn a piston up. You know, you might lose a couple horsepower, but in that kind of stuff, it doesn't really matter. So, let's see what happens when we turn this over. Alright, moment of truth. I don't know if I want it to have compression or not have compression at this point, because I want to know what's wrong with it. If it doesn't have compression, we could probably fix it with some oils and let it sit, because the rings are probably just stuck. But you gotta hold it wide open and have somebody turn it over. Turn it over. Turn it over.
It is.
No, turn the key.
I am.
Why ain't it turning over? Is the light still on?
I'm turning the key.
Is the light still on from the dome light?
No.
What's going on?
The light's on in the rear. Babe, I was turning the key like I was starting the car and nothing.
Try it again.
I am.
What the hell?
There's a red light on the dash.
Alright, hang on a second.
I'm turning the key off.
Oh. Mess with the shifter. Now try it.
Turn it off.
Here, try turning it over a little more. Okay. Well, that's got 180. That's something. It's a lot of freaking compression. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and do the rest of them and see what happens. Put the battery charger on and keep cooking along. Alright, compression test. These numbers are backwards. This should be odds, this should be evens. From the way I did it, but that's alright. We got 180, 185, 190, 180, 180, 170, 170, 170. No reason this motor shouldn't run. Pretty lost. I'm starting to think maybe there's some water in the fuel. Just kind of looking at it how it drips. I don't know. Running out of ideas. I'm gonna go to the gas station, get some fresh gas, and just dump it straight down the carburetor and see if it starts. Cause I don't know. I got nothing else. Maybe also I got this crank sensor over here. We could swap it out. Maybe this crank sensor's bad and telling it to fire at all the wrong times, but I feel like it should still pop. I mean, I sprayed brake clean down it too, and it doesn't even pop. I don't know anymore. Well, we're gonna keep trying till we figure it out. One day. Alright, change the cam sensor now. Because I don't know what else to do.
Crank it?
Mm-hmm.
Stupid thing.
Grab the cap off the PV blast or something.
That is not coming out now.
Alright, hit it. Alright, we're back at it. The internet's been yelling at me about grounds. Grounds, try grounds. So this wire is clamped straight to the battery ground. It's big, thick wire, and I know it's kind of long, but the battery's over there and the MSD box is there. Ran back here to a fitting, clamped right to where the MSD box is. Now it's clamped there, straight to the battery. My battery ground is here. Goes to my fender right there, which has that come off to the frame, has that come off and goes up here to the motor. I mean, I got grounds. I just kind of threw this on there, just seeing if these need to be ground, which I don't understand why they would be. It has spark, and it's always ran just the exact same way that it has. I didn't have any grounds on the coils. Apparently some of the other LS motors have those. I mean, this thing has spark, which means the spark plugs are grounding through the head, making it spark. So I don't think that would happen if the coils didn't have spark. So we're just going to try this ground on this MSD box and see if this thing makes noise. Just to make everyone happy. If it makes noise, it is what it is, and I'll be happy. Still squirting. Direct power from the battery to the MSD box right there. Of course, I'm doing this by myself today, so that's awesome. Still nothing. I don't know. I've made sure the coils are all wired right. That's all looking good. I'm gonna check to see if I got spark at every spark at every coil. I have to get my dad to do that. Other than that, I have another box. Might as well. It looks like it's gonna require a little bit more wiring than I want to do to just rig it up. Let's try it. Alright, wired in this box real quick. I got the wires clamped on. Got the grounds that go to there, ran to there, clamped on straight to the battery. Everything should work. Sure, nothing's gonna get. Let's see if it starts. Not a sound. Guess let me go get my dad. Have him turn it over and make sure we got spark with this new box. Alright, so here's where we're at. My dad came and helped me crank it over. We only have spark out of like 2 or 3 cylinders for some reason. So I just changed this entire bag of coils. I took this one off. We're changing the spark plug wires and everything. And those spark plug wires are not old at all. I guess turn it over and see what happens. Maybe it'll start. This motor ran in my race car. Nothing has changed. I don't understand. Let's try something crazy. Ground to the battery. I'm gonna come right over here. And we're gonna ground Right to this valve cover. I don't know. Maybe it's a ground issue. That's what everyone keeps telling me. It's a ground issue. Starting fluid? I don't know. I don't know. That's all I got. I don't know. It's got intermittent spark. We tried another MSD box. Okay. It's really frustrating. Especially because this motor ran. I don't know how much you guys want to watch me diagnose this or just... You know, snap and TV magic happens and it starts right up. Leave a comment down below. Try to figure it out for yourself. See what you think. Or let me know what you think. Because I'm running out of ideas. And when I talk to you's running out of ideas. Alrighty then. So after making a bunch of Facebook posts and trying to ask people and trying to figure out overline, my friend Mark just comes over, and what you're about to see is a miracle. It's so much work. Fortunately, did get to film it all, but I'll explain at the end. Well, that's the first noise it's made since it's been in this car.
Go ahead. Okay.
No gas?
Yeah, they love gas when they first start.
Fixed. Whatever that button was in the corner. Okay.
That's good.
Try it again.
Holy smokes.
Again? Hold up. We're losing Barry.
Yeah, we probably don't have enough juice in the battery to trigger the dang MSD right now. The charger's laying right here too. We have things happening.
Good news, we have spark.
There was a whole bunch of issues happening all at once. I hate this stupid thing. Let's give it a shot.
Gotta buy the goods. Go ahead. Hold up.
It's like we lost spark. Oh, we did.
How do you know that? Oh.
Ronnie.
Say when.
Okay, now
don't
it's gonna be
touch
really
it.
mad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on. Yeah, no, it does not like that gas.
Just a little bit.
Okay. We're close. Hold up. I think the coils are backwards.
That's driver's side. That's why I pulled it off.
This is the driver? Okay, yep.
We can switch them though. Let's try it real fast.
The way it's talking back through the intake.
Yeah, it really is. Okay.
Go ahead. Hold up. Yeah, it's definitely out of time now.
Just happier the other way. Yep. I'm really glad I labeled that. I wonder if these spark plugs are washed.
Oh, I'm sure that it's flooded. The plugs are fouled. You know, everything. I was going to say so. You know, pull the plugs, clean the plugs, drain another fuel system, put in good fuel in it. Would definitely make it. You'll come back up. But we can definitely shoot it with some shit and make it run.
Yeah,
So,
I would like to make noise. You want to shoot a little more ether in it?
if you got something, well, sure. So I'm going to open the throttle. So the throttle's all the way open. Go ahead.
This glorious can this second. Alright.
Okay, crank.
They like that ether.
Do you have a leather welding mitt?
Yeah, it's on the leather. On here. It's not leather, but.
I just want to make sure I have a hand when I'm done.
Smart.
I'm gonna shoot some more ether in it.
Okay. Yeah, it just wants more gas.
More?
Yes. Okay.
That's all of it.
All right, crank. Go ahead.
I think that's out.
Yeah, we're definitely out of gas. So it needs.
It's so damn close. It's trying.
Well, like I said, the plugs are just pissed.
Oh, hey. Let's put that back in it. That's the one that always ran off of. Maybe the carbon, that other timing isn't in the line.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Finally. Ah, damn. Oh yeah.
Well, cool. I am super glad that that sorted out.
What a fight.
That's it. You got love electrical. You know, sometimes it's just a complete pain in the ass.
Broken wires, water and gas.
Yeah. So it had 2 broken wires. It's the wires were under shrink wrap, so they didn't look broke. But then when you pulled on, boop, they just come right apart.
Okay.
So we had to pull the whole harness out of it, and say we didn't have any ground to the crank position sensor.
Okay.
And so then that was the clue to pull all that out. So we rewired all that, and then it's the fuel didn't look or smell right, so we emptied it out in a bucket, and it is full of water.
So water in the tank?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
must have been
So
When you added the
yeah,
gas?
so all the spark plugs and everything were just coated in water and very, very not happy. So
It also didn't like that timing chip.
no,
we changed that?
that's true. Yeah, I was gonna say it did act much better with this timing chip in it.
So that's what it's tuned to, so.
Yeah. So now it's good to rock and roll. So empty all the gas out, have yourself a good bonfire.
Cool. Now the fun begins. We get to do all the cool shit.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Yep. I just want to be the guy on Facebook that fixed it.
You mean YouTube? Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
Good job.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna head home.
See ya.
Well, it runs. 2 messed up wires going to the crank sensor. That's why it was having spark. Turned out it wasn't having spark, or it had spark, but it didn't have spark to all the cylinders, and the spark was like coming and going. So yeah, that was the issue the whole time. I gotta really thank Mark. I know I didn't film much with him. Chelsea showed up and she, started filming some. It was just really hard because we were really trying to get into what the heck was going on with this thing and get it done. And it's Sunday, and I just wanted to get it done as fast as we could so he could get back to enjoying a Sunday. I really got to thank him for showing up. But it runs. So we got bad gas, 2 broken wires. So I could drain all the gas out of the tank and maybe throw a different set of plugs in it. I don't know. It might be fine. We'll see. So tomorrow, drain the gas out, start working on everything else. Start it up. I want it to sit here and idle for a second. That'd be sweet. All right, now that it runs, my dad actually went ahead and changed his caliper while I was gone. So, brand new caliper here. I got a master cylinder on order. This master cylinder only has front brakes, nothing coming from the rear. So next, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this out. I gotta drain the gas out. 2. I'm gonna do that. I don't know. I'm really thinking just get this thing so it can sit here and idle. This radiator is pretty much junk, unfortunately. I mean, we went up to the Hearse Fest and on the trailer, the overflow just broke off it. This bottom tube down there, kind of sketchy. I'll show you when we get it off. And then I'm just going to have to make a different radiator fit. We're going to have to do some massaging over there. Really sorry for the paint. But it's got to go. Now thankfully we didn't put anything in this. So it should come right out. So the bottom, that thing right there is junk. It's just been smashed. I'm over this radiator. So we got this aluminum one right here. It just doesn't fit. Oh boy. I should have did this in the first place. Hang on, I got another one. This one's also jammed full of crap. Alright. This one would fit with some major modifications. AK, like moving this all over, but the way the structure is on this, it's going to be a lot of work. I basically have to cut this whole dang thing out. All the way down to here. I don't know. I got some smaller radiators. I have some smaller radiators over here. That's like for an S10. That's a dual pass. I'd rather get a big radiator for this because it's gonna sit a lot in parades and traffic and car shows and all that stuff. Not that those won't do the job, because let's face it, handled this motor through a massive burnout, or a bunch, and races, and never got hot. So I think I might go to the junkyard and see what I can find tomorrow. We'll take some measurements, go on to Michael's Auto Salvage. So I think I'm going to change this coil pack back, drain some gas. I changed it to try to diagnose it. I'll bring it back afterwards. This is going to be boring. All I'm going to do is either run that hose into a bucket, or there is a drain underneath, but that'll just be the easiest way to do it. And that will guarantee I pull all the gas off the bottom, where the drain if I can show you. Damn. The drain's right there. It's not on the bottom of the tank. It's not on the bottom of the tank, it's on the side of the tank. The fuel filter don't look bad, but you know, it's got water in it. Yeah, we'll just pull that for now. Decisions. I'll show you what I decide here in a minute. Alright, drain wasn't draining, so I just pulled the line off. It really doesn't look like gas. Like, what in the world? There was like almost nothing in this tank when I put gas in it earlier. We're gonna have to try to experiment, see if it'll light on fire. There is some coolant in this. This is my normal coolant thing. I figured that's just water. Why is there so much water? I got gas at the corner like I normally do. This is crazy. It doesn't even stink. So, gonna keep an eye on this. I don't want to overfill. We'll get it out of here and just keep going till it's done, and then I'll dump some fresh gas in it and I'll run it through the fuel pump till it just smells like gas instead of water. We'll get some spark plugs. Hopefully it'll run. Well, bearings. Oh, my strap. Oh well, not gonna make it. I put fresh premium in the tank. We drained a lot of gallons out. I don't know how many there was, but it was a lot. So it's got premium in it. I just pulled fresh gas out of the tank when I ran the pump. I also put some stuff in there that eats water out of the tank. What's it called? Heat? H-E-E-T? Heat? Sure. Heat. There it is. That's more for like wintertime and diesels, but it works for gas motors too. I dumped half of it in. It says it's for 20 gallons, and I put 5 in it. Should work perfect. I hooked my throttle up. Let's see if we get this thing to start and sit here and idle for just a second. The trans lines are just run together because the radiator's out of it, and I just want to see it build oil pressure on the gauge. That would be nifty. You know, we're still a little iffy on our oil pressure. So even though it made noise the other day, it wasn't clanging when it made noise. So I think it's got oil pressure. Let's see what happens. Spark plugs are still definitely unhappy though. So it might not actually really want to start. Why are you not squirting, Carb? What is going on? No, we gotta stop floating. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, now we're flooded. Crank on about the damn fuel pump on. Huh. Why you no start? Front one. Oh boy, this carb's gonna have to come apart. Just sitting on the shelf like it's stuck afloat. Let's see, now that it's flooded even more, will it start? I think that carb is unhappy. Yep, that's what I was going for. Alright. Anything burn up? No, not really. Pull the carb off. Go through it, I guess. Actually, gonna do it for me today. I'm gonna have to go get a carb kit, some spark plugs, a couple other things. Back at it tomorrow. That's not what I meant to do. What the heck? So I was in a really big hurry to leave earlier. Like I said, I had to quit for the day, but I'm back now. So I was running out the door and my motor builder pulled in. Well, I got talking to him for like 2 seconds and I was like, I'll just turn the motor over so you can see what it's doing. It immediately started and sat here and idled. Zero pressure on the oil. So we're going to try to start it and see if it has pressure at the valve. You gotta turn it off. Well, unfortunately, that confirms it. It looks like I'm gonna be pulling the frickin' oil pan. I guess I should have did it in the first place. When I primed it and it shot oil out earlier, that means it was just oil that was in the frickin' pump. Okay. 2 steps forward, 15 back. Alright, trying to figure out this oil pressure thing. This was really loose. Probably why the oil filter was leaking. I mean, it wouldn't let it seal all the way. At least that's my guess. I'm actually going to turn the motor over. Let's see if any oil comes out of here right now. And I don't know what it means if it does, but it should have oil pressure if it's coming out of here. Because this is like oil pan, pump, here. Gone, I think. I don't know 100%. We're going to just turn it over and see what happens. Not going to start it, just turning it over. Alright, I gotta watch this back and see if any oil came out. Yep, no oil. I guess try to pull the pan. There's not a lot of room right there. So it's not looking promising to pulling it with the motor bolted in. Get some better zoom. So yeah. It's really hard to, I guess I can kind of film down here, at least time lapse it for you. Me taking this off. First thing I'm going to do is drain the oil. Alright, here's where we're at. Carburetor's off. I pulled the motor mount bolts. They're off. We got a little bit of room to lift the motor up. It's a little hard to see through my wiring mess there that I still got to clean up. But we should be able to get it up an inch. Should be good enough to get that oil pan to drop out. I'm really hoping. If not, I'll set it back down, pull the transmission mounts, pull all the lines off, make a mess, and pull this whole thing out. Let's hope we don't have to go there. Fingers crossed. Come on, God. Give me a break here. Could use one. Jag it up. I'm going to watch this pan. Oh, yeah. We got plenty of room now. Plenty of room. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one-handed. But we have lots more rooms. Oh yeah, it's gotta come off now. What's going on? I feel like we're hooked. feel like we're less hooked now. Whatever, free. I'm gonna have to put you down. Alright, we're off. The pickup's there. How's the screen look? Screen looks good. I was touching the bottom of the wheel. What is nastiness? Oh, it's all that water from that gas, I bet you. Look at everything is all... boy. Oh boy. Well, I'll clean that out. Alright. Where I need to get to is up there. And we're just going to drop this tube out and see if the O-ring's bad. We might have to check the depth. The way we're going to do that is we're going to measure here to here. And there on the tank and see where it's at. Then pull this tube off and I'll show you what this tube looks like if we pull it. Or just tell you about the measurement. Give me that swivel.
June?
I will say this has a spot for two.
Your
bolts.
pump only has one.
Well, my pump only has one. But it sucked it all the way up in there when I put it in there. Well, you finally get to meet Bobby, the engine builder. He comes in and we figure out why this freaking motor has no oil pressure. Finally.
Did this O-ring go up in there?
Yeah. It didn't seem very tight now that I pulled it back off, though. It just fell out. I didn't, like, hold it. Well, there is a spot for a second bolt, but I can't remember why I didn't put the second bolt in. I tried to put it in. It's a mystery, that's for sure.
June is going to solve the mystery. And that's Dixie.
You want to go to hold the other end up?
I kind of think it's something to do with this O-ring. That just goes there. Hold that for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's supposed to be in there. I think it's something to do with that Chinese pickup. Because this O-ring is supposed to be in there, not sitting on the front of it.
So that bigger O-ring isn't letting it go up in there?
I think so. Is that where it needs to be?
Yep. See, that wasn't even holding in before. Like it just did. It just fell right out when I pulled the bolt.
That's probably why you couldn't get the other bolt in. I'd go get a new factory O-ring. Even though this one fits okay, I don't think I'd risk it. There's too much work to get to it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the O-ring is supposed to be up in there. Like that. This O-ring is too fat to let that pickup go up in there. And when you pulled it out, it's sitting on this chamfer right here.
Yeah, that seems to be where it was when I pulled it, so.
So, the factory O-ring sits up in there like that. You can see right here this mark that your pickup wasn't sitting all the way. I think if you just get a new O-ring and make sure that it goes up in here like that, it should work.
Alright.
Also on that pickup on the end, see right here, on the original factory one, there's a groove for it to sit in, and this has no groove. That could be part of the problem too. It's not holding the O-ring where it's supposed to be.
So basically what had happened is the O-ring that came with that kit, with the pickup and the oil pan, was the wrong one for that motor. And I didn't realize that when I put it together. So we put the factory one back on and shoved it back up in there and bolted it back up, and it actually allowed both bolts to go all the way up in there, so it seated it correctly. And that was the problem the entire time. It was sucking air around that incorrect O-ring. We go through a whole bunch of stuff diagnosing this, making sure that it's right. I didn't want you to have to sit through it all, so we'll just sum it up. Oil pan is clean. Look at it, I can see myself. Maybe this was meant to happen this way. All that fuel and the crap that was in the fuel getting down in the oil. Could have been bad news. Could have blown this motor up. Now it's nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and throw the oil pan back on. Bob had to leave. Set it back down on the motor mounts. I'm just going to throw the bolts through it. He slapped the carb on it. He said fire right, or prime the oil pump like I did before with the funnel and the thing, and fire it back up. So I'll bring it back in for that part, and the fun part where it still doesn't have any oil pressure. Fingers crossed. I think there was a reason I need to pull that pan back off, and it got us to this point. If that O-ring doesn't work, he said he'll come back over. I'll go get a factory one and we'll redo it. And if that doesn't work, the old oil pan's going back on. Actually, the old oil pan might go back on if it doesn't work this time. Because why the hell not? And quit screwing around. I'm going to catch you up to speed instead of making you watch another hour of me trying to start this car. Because I pretty much fought the exact same problem we were having from the beginning. And I'm just going to bring you up to when we finally figure out why we're having this issue. Oh, I don't mention it in this video, but the carburetor is hurt after all that popping and banging. I didn't know that at this point. But yeah, I'm sure you were thinking of it. Well, we got it running. I unfortunately had the camera paused. But for some reason, it sounds like crap. It sounds like it's on 7 cylinders. Hang on, let me make sure everything's plugged in. Oh, that's hot. Hang on. All those cylinders were hot. This side's completely cold. Well, this side isn't firing. What in the... We got another repair somewhere? Whatever's happening there. We got one whole bank of cylinders not firing. Try it again. Still not firing on this side. Okay. So we have oil pressure, we just don't have run. So let's try this. Well, that wasn't plugged in. Still at oil pressure, right? Probably why we're getting all those misfires and stuff. This thing is just kicking my ass. Start to end. I still don't have any clue what's going on. You'd think it'd be the box, but we've already proven that it's not. Alright, hit it. Well, hang on, maybe check it first. Why are the front two cylinders on both sides way hotter than the back two? Alright, turn that fuel pump on. Start it up. It's got oil pressure and it runs. I still don't actually think it runs very good.
Probably remember to get level and shit.
I do got to go through the carburetor a little more and make sure that that's alright.
Yeah, because we did back part of the hell out of it.
Yes, we did. I hope we didn't hurt the motor doing that. I still don't know what was wrong. Alright, well, it runs. I gotta really thank the people that helped me get this car running. I would have never got it running without them. Mark for figuring out where those broke wires were. Bobby for figuring out freaking, it's sucking air instead of oil with that O-ring being wrong. I would have never figured this all out without them. It's always good to have good people behind you. It's even my wife for helping turn the car over, my dad for helping me do a little bit of stuff, and TJ for helping doing a little bit of stuff. And also she filmed too, so that was really cool. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you really want to help me out, We're almost at 14,000 frickin' followers. Hit that subscribe button. You made it this far in this video. You should definitely do it. Also, sweet merch down below. And if you're curious where I got the hearse, here's that video right there. And without God, none of this would have been possible. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.